Daytime Coyote Videos 1. This is the first of two compilations of daytime coyote videos taken with my home security cameras. Both videos are in playlist Recording Wildlife with a Home Security Camera. There's a link to the playlist at the end of this video and in the video description. These videos were taken from December 2018 through March 25th, 2019. A highlight in the second compilation is a coyote chasing a rabbit around two sides of my house. This coyote went by my house about 7 a.m. Hopefully he'll be back during the day and I can add more visits to this video. Now this one is around sunrise when the coyote goes through, but notice he stops right there, and that's exactly where the two rabbits were a half an hour ago. So apparently the smell of a rabbit lasts quite a while after the rabbit's been there, at least long enough for the coyote to pick it up. About 7:30 on the 26th, a young coyote comes by, and he comes over toward the house when he gets to the end of the trail there by the right side of the camera view. Comes all the way up to the house. Didn't find anything to eat, I don't think, so he goes back over to the trail. There's another coyote up near the upper left corner, near that tree. 4 minutes after the young coyote went by, here's another one I think is also a young coyote. And he comes by and he does the same thing. He goes and checks out the house and then goes back up to the trail. Now here comes some more coyotes. So now we're up to at least 5 because one's already gone to the right and there's 4 there. So the pack may only be 5 or it may be more. It's hard to tell. So they're all going to the right now. Sniffing around, of course, for some rabbits. Rabbits do go out in the grass where that one coyote is, so he probably smells them. So eventually they all go to the right on the green belt. I think that one went back a bit on the green belt too. Okay, here they're coming back the other way. There's the 2 young ones. Actually, those 2 on the trail are the young ones, and I think the others are larger, older. So remember, there's 5 it looks like. So 2 are going that way. And the guys that are nosing around the house are going to go back in a minute, and they're going to go to the left also. So it looks like 4 of them have gone back to the left. Here's number 5 to the left. Here come a couple more, so the count is now up to 7 unless they somehow circled. And that guy looks like he's not very well. He's walking kind of slowly and limping a bit, it looks like. Here comes the second guy, so the count is now up to 7. Here are a couple more of them going back to the right. Sometimes the coyotes on their way past my house will stop and visit my back patio, and the other camera that has most of my wildlife videos is shooting from the far right corner of the house on this picture. You can see those two signs at upper right that are in the picture from the other camera. But sometimes, like I said, they come down to the rear patio. Now he's going over toward the area where the other camera will pick him up. But he didn't go that far, he came back. There are a group of 4 or 5 coyotes that love to visit the side patio when they are going by on the greenbelt. They seem fascinated by the shrubbery that is planted here, and they may drink out of the waterfall, which is behind the blue urn at far right, a little above the middle. You can't see the waterfall. They come off the trail at far right in the camera view, and they either come down the dry stream bed that's shown, or they come behind the plants just in front of the wall. And the plants are thick enough where you can't see them when they're right next to the wall coming to from right to left. I think these are the more mature coyotes because of the markings on their backs. And they seem to move much slower on this patio and in the shrubbery than they do when they're on the greenbelt running down that trail. I had to speed this video up 2 times. It just was too slow. These guys were moving very slowly. There is a lemon tree just to the left of the patio concrete, but I'm not sure if the guys are eating them or not. They mostly just seem to be running around and sniffing the different plants that grow there. There's a rosemary bush to the left of the lemon tree, and they do sniff that quite a bit when they're over by it. I don't know if they actually eat any of the vegetation or not, but they sure seem interested. There are rabbits that occasionally play in that area, and there's a lot of lizards in the area, so it's possible they smell those. And birds occasionally land there also. Some of the coyotes walk as though they have arthritis, so I kind of think they're older coyotes. You especially notice that at normal speed. But like I said, this is double speed. This guy just yonder barked, and I'm not sure which. I can see them very well in the daytime, and they're fairly close to the camera, but at night, there's a window ledge at lower right in the picture. That lights up from the lights that are on the video camera, and it causes the whole scene to be shown very dark at night. So you can see very little at night from this camera. It looks like they're darting around, but remember, double speed. Here comes another one down the stream bed. There's either 4 or 5 of them. It's hard to keep track of the count. And that's about the number I see going by the rear camera that faces the green belt. So I think it's a pack of 4 or 5, and there may in fact be more than one pack, because I've seen quite a few small ones from the greenbelt camera. And these guys, none of them are really small, so there may very well be 8 or 10 coyotes altogether that show up at various times. Now this is a little after 8 in the morning, and we're late risers here. We're not normally running around inside the house quite that early. So there's nothing to scare them off. A single coyote wanders down the trail on February 26th about 6:30. Then he turns off. He sniffs around a bit for rabbits which play in the area. and then he goes off the trail by that fallen tree and then exits to the right. Three or 4 minutes later, another coyote comes through, and apparently he's tracking the other one by scent because he follows exactly the same path the other one did, going off the trail and then also exiting to the right. 12 minutes later, another coyote comes, but I think the scent has dissipated from the first two because he follows an entirely different path from the trail and eventually comes back to the house. Taking his time, he looks like he's waiting for some buddies to come from the left, but eventually he goes off the trail, the same place the other two went. And he waits a bit. And then he exits to the right. But he doesn't seem to be following the other two. Maybe the smell's already gone. So he comes back and he goes down to the house looking for rabbits. A lot of rabbits play in the area he's in right now. Doesn't find any. And I guess the scent's gone too much for him to follow. So instead of going to the right where all the other coyotes went, he exits back to the left. Later that morning, it's about 6:30, a coyote is coming from the street again. I think they go up to the street and then they can go up or down the street and connect to a green belt or a golf course coming back to the left, or they can cross the street and get on the golf course. It just switched from day to night mode. That's why there were some funny color changes there. A little after 7 the same day, a coyote comes through. Now, fortunately, it's daylight. He's not in any hurry. He's sniffing around. Lots of rabbits play in the areas he's sniffing. Pauses, looks around some more. Just taking his time. Exits to the right toward the street. About 7 a.m., this coyote was picked up at the rear of my house on the camera that's on the patio. And he wandered around a bit and went around a little bit. Started to come back toward the patio. Then apparently changed his mind and started around to the end of the house where the greenbelt camera is. So he appears on that one. There's the trail all the animals use. He wanders off to the right eventually. If you enjoyed this Tom's Tech Notes video, please like it and please leave a comment. When thumbnails appear, click at upper left to open the playlist for this video. Click at lower left to watch a video specially recommended for you. You can also click links in the video description. Click my photo to visit the Tom's Tech Notes channel. To subscribe, please click the red button. If you don't see the red button, hover over my photo to show it.